We are live. Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark.
And Jocelyn.
Here with Walter's World and Simply Jocelyn for Whiskey Wednesday. And I see the whiskey's already pouring.
Jocelyn has good whiskey tonight because I'm at Grandma's.
Yeah, we're at Grandma's tonight. So we want to welcome everybody. Say thanks to
Let's see who's
Mom
here. Scorpio Sue and Nick and
Mache. Troy, what's up, buddy?
Mache and
Henry
Darian
Martinez.
and Michael and Troy and Nick and oh my gosh.
Nick P. Ryan's on there. Nice.
Amanda, Rainy Books with
Michael
Amanda.
Mon.
I like that. Elliot, hello.
Oh, Elliot, say, what's up, man?
Professor Walters.
Yeah, that's why I just started to see what was there because YouTube has yet again changed their thing,
Ryan,
and it's like,
hi.
you need to reset everything. So it was a little frustrating here the last few minutes.
Cheers, it's Wednesday. Mommy needs a drink.
Yes, the drive over to Grandma's house was more stressful than any road trip we've had.
So much fun.
Anyway, and then, so we actually went for ordering out some pizza for here, and it's the nastiest Domino's pizza we've ever had. I thought they were doing better, but yeah, it's like cold and
It's
not
hit
cut.
or miss.
It's not cut through, so you're just ripping things apart. It's a disaster.
It's just hit or miss.
It is, but you know what? They brought it to my door, and that's all that really matters. So we're good there. But
Hold on. Elliot Smith says, I'm in Lowell, Massachusetts, and I'm going to try crossing the German border on Friday. Wowzer. Ballsy. Like, how much whiskey have you had to do something like that? I'm proud.
it's got the Jägermeister running, man.
Yeah. Oh, Jaeger's so good. After you've had a too big meal, sip a little shot of Jaeger. That's what Jaeger's actually for. It's not for slamming shots like we did in college. And it's really good. I never did that. Like, I liked Jaeger as a drink. I love the flavor of it. So I didn't drink it like that in college. But then when Mark introduced me to it as a digestive, I was like, oh, this is brilliant. When your stomach is too full and you're just like overdone, that's what you do with it. And
Yeah,
it
no,
I have chicken wings, sorry.
My experience was the college experience of Jägermeister with a bar trying to set the world record for most Jägermeister drank. It did not end well for Mark, the college freshman.
But did the bar win?
I don't know. I think they did.
Was it like Cams or something?
Yeah, it was Cams. And so I didn't have it for a long time after that. And then I was living in Germany, and my buddy and I had like huge meal. We're not drinking, and we're going to go clubbing, but we're at a bar and stuff. He's like, "Oh, we need to have Unterberg and Jägermeister." I'm like, "No, man, I can't do that stuff." He's like, "No, it's good for the like. We had a fatty meal. I have that." And I'm like, "All right." I mean, it had been like 5 years since I had it, and so I drank it.
And you had eaten Haxa before you went to the club.
Basically hammock. And so then I took the shot, and like literally, like I could feel like, you know, like those commercials with the Pepto-Bismol going through, and it's like covered. And I'm like, oh, I can drink again. Yay. So it works very, very well. So funny. Nick P is in Badlands National Park. So
awesome.
Nick has been, if you're a superhero, you've probably noticed on our Facebook channel, Nick has posted a lot of stuff from all over. He sent us cards from all over the 9,000-mile road trip. The dude's been out of control with all these things. So I have to ask you about the Badlands.
We'll be home tomorrow.
Because later this fall, we will be going through Badlands National Park. We're going to be going through Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, Iowa. So if you have some good tips, Nebraska. I said Nebraska first. So I even have a pen and paper to take down some notes for some people to make sure I get some other fun stuff in there.
Yes, please tell us anything that you've got. Oh, Henry's here. I didn't see that.
Yeah, Henry's here. So it's Darian. Glad you're doing well, my friend.
Yeah, Darian's. Cheers to you too, Ted. Thank you. Megan Morris. Nice to see you.
Cool.
We've got mods doing work already. Thank you to our mods for taking care of the nasty troll people. Thomas, hello, dear. Went on campus and just passed Cams. He knew that that's what you were talking about when you were talking about the Jaeger thing, right?
So here's one thing. We're looking at some fun drinks for Jocelyn to make on her channel. And at Cam's, it's a U of I student bar. And I know it seems like we're lagging right now. But they had this thing called the Blue Man, which is like a raspberry
energy
drink.
And vodka.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to have some fun with that one, doing that. I can see it. Yeah. We're even lagging on this end. So I apologize for the lag, but I'm going to guess the audio might be still working. So do let us know in the comments so we can have an idea of how everything's going.
Shorty,
Do the cave. Okay, I'm putting that one down. Do the caves in the Badlands.
Shorty, we have not been to Greenland yet. I wish we could give you tips, except that I can tell you this. Greenland is not green. It's ice. And Iceland is quite green. So there's that. Harrison, Arkansas. No, haven't been there. Have you?
No.
One of my uncles lives in Arkansas, but not there. Wind Cave and Jewel Cave. You know what? One of my favorite things up in that area, right just west of the Badlands, is Spearfish Canyon, and that was my favorite part of the ride when I went out there. I sold motorcycles out there one year for Sturgis, and that was just like the coolest thing ever. Loved every minute of it. So.
Oh, son of Thomas Moore's heading to Memphis on Sunday for 5 days and off to New Orleans for 5 days. Real nice. There are some places in Beale you can still listen to music outside, so that's nice. So there is some good stuff. And honestly, the zoo in Memphis, the Memphis Zoo is really cool. So that's really worth a good one to go. You can see the pandas. I think they're still there.
I want to answer this. Ryan Hammer says, where to stay in Venice? So we try not to stay in Venice because Venice it's incredibly overpriced and it's really expensive. However, I get the romanticism and the want to stay there. So if you're going to stay and you're really set on staying in Venice, I can't tell you a specific place. I haven't stayed there since Mark and I got engaged, and that was a minute ago. Look for a place with reviews for cleanliness and decent service. Doesn't matter if it's cheap or expensive, because quite frankly, some of the really high-end ones are really, really nice luxury places. But after that, those middle of the road and the really cheap ones, there's not a lot of separation for what they're giving you. So in my opinion, because you're going to spend a ton to stay in Venice, just look for something with good reviews. And I would really particularly look at cleanliness, because I've had a lot of friends who stayed in Venice and it hasn't been amazingly clean. Whatever, that's just because they went cheap or whatever, but you can get a cheap place that's still a decent place. We typically stay in Vicenza because our best friends are from Vicenza, and so that's where we stay, and then we just day trip into Venice if we're going in. But we've been there so many times, and now we sort of feel like that's our time to just step back and let other people see it, because we don't need to add to the people going into Venice. But it's not a bad way to do it, because you get a whole nother feel for a different town. So think on that and see what you think. Theodore, should I go to Guadalajara next month? I can't tell you that, but I do have a friend who went to Cancun last month, and they have a lot of restrictions in resorts and things as to how many people can be there. A lot of things are still shut down. So there's not a lot, can't guarantee that everything would be there that is normally there. So kind of keep that in mind. But I can't tell you whether or not you should go. All right, let's see. Henry Kirkpatrick. Oh, it just jumped. And I wanted to get that. Oh, shoot. Y'all, we're having some problems. So, Henry,
it's like the computer's trying to update.
It's really bad. I saw that you were a longtime viewer, first-time commenter, and then I didn't get the rest in. I wanted to see what I could do, but it ran off. I'm sorry.
Duels 1 and 2. No, we do not do YouTube all time, full time. I'm actually a college professor during the day, and YouTube at night. I'm glad it paused when I was picking stuff out of my teeth. Always nice. Hey, Nairobi Ingles from New York City. Great city. Another trip that was canceled. We were going to be back there. I was going to be back there like next week, and that got canceled.
Ryan asks, what was the most adventurous activity you guys have ever done, and where in the world was it? I would say at the safari, and we were in Tanzania, and I thought I was going to actually crap the bed. There was the Cape Buffalo that kept banging into our tent. There were lions on either side of the tent roaring at night. There was a hippo not far away. I mean, we had a very busy night.
Across our tent.
Like, you could see it.
Cheetah landed on the front, and you could hear it going by.
Yeah.
And even the next day, the Maasai warriors that were the guards, they're like, yeah, it was pretty busy last night. You could tell that they were worried. So if they were worried,
I was scared too. I'm like, why don't I have a spear? So
and there was actually some in the room, which we only found later.
It was just a decoration.
Dab Leopard Rules Rock. Thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. So the question is, do you guys think that the travel ban from Europe could be lifted by next summer and safe to travel abroad by then too? I would imagine probably the travel bans will be done. Now, safe to travel, if you're looking at COVID, even if there is a vaccine by the end of the year, you're not going to be able to produce enough to vaccinate everybody. So it's not going to be something that's going to be instantaneous. But hopefully by then, you know, you're hoping like there's been all these spikes, all this kind of stuff. There's enough things that we can get it under control, hopefully. Because that's 8 months away, 10 months away. So I would imagine people will be traveling again next summer. I still think that a lot of people are doing like domestic travel versus international. It's still going to be more stay close to home. But some people are going to venture out, and some things will open up. Just because so much of the industry has already been destroyed, and now it's not. A lot of it's not coming back. Something like 30% of museums are not going to be opening the doors again. A lot of those small town museums, smaller museums, are not going to make it.
They've already shut down. Henry Martinez, thank you for the super chat, dear.
So Mark and Jocelyn, what are the chances of a collaboration with Yellow Productions with Chris? Have you guys talked at all? Yes. So Chris does live. So for those of you who know, Yellow Productions, Chris who does Yellow Productions, he's also like me. He has a day job, and then he does the travel YouTube stuff on the side in the evenings. And Chris is, for honest advice, good stuff. He's got some good stuff. I like Chris a lot. I hop on some of his live feeds occasionally and chat. I know Rob from Trip Hacks DC just did a live feed with him like 2 days ago. And so Chris and I have actually talked about doing some stuff together. We just need to get it set up. It's just that our schedules always are like this. But it will happen. I know it will happen. But do check out Yellow Productions. A lot of times, probably in your suggested videos, if you're watching one of ours, he'll pop up in the side sometime. So
Ronnie, I'm sorry about the passing of your grandmother. I didn't see that until just now. I apologize. I don't apologize. I'm sorry. I know my yaya died 5 days after we got married.
Yeah.
And we had to move to Portugal the next day. So I didn't even get to go to her funeral. And that broke my heart. That was a really hard thing. So I remember how that feels. And I'm with you. And
for those of you that are with all the...
Hang on, it keeps jumping.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get...
Brian Boyd, how's it going? Dan Reese on here. I'm just trying, because now
Hi,
we can
Lori.
move it up. So on our end, it says, we can't maintain a smooth stream. Also, it keeps jumping, and the thing you see over here, we can't even see our video anymore. That was frozen too, so I tried to X out of all this kind of stuff.
Shorty, you're gonna love Iceland. We spent, how many weeks were you there? 2, 3? 3 weeks, and we just drove the whole thing, and it was great. I mean, it's such a cool place. People are really great. Don't even try to read Icelandic. We would just laugh. Like, Mark's reading things on the map, telling me where to drive, and we were just like, the one that starts with an S. Or the one that starts with an STVQR. It was kind of crazy. There was one I wanted.
Hey gals.
Hi gals. It's nice to see y'all. Hello, Philippe. It was right down here. Hang on. I'm sorry. This thing jumped, and I want Almost Midas Productions. I really like that name. Any advice for growing a newer YouTube channel other than consistently posting? You know what? Mark has got a lot of those things on his Professor Walters channel. He's got a whole ton that are YouTube advice videos. So check on there and see what you can get, because there'll be a lot. And don't be afraid to write and ask questions and stuff too. Hey, Bubba Spartan. Nice to see you. Henry Kirkpatrick. Okay, this is the longtime watcher, first-time commenter. I was saying I'm leaving for a 3-month U.S. road trip next week.
Ooh, cool.
46 national parks. Any big trips? Thanks again. So, yes. So, we're going to, in the future, this fall, do a road trip west. And we're going to hit, like, Badlands, Yellowstone. I want to go to, like, the Tetons.
Then we'll probably see Custer's.
We're going to go to Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore. Possibly Dinosaur National Monument, because when I was a kid, that was a huge thing for me.
That's what we're hoping for.
Actually, we found that totally by accident. When I was a child, I liked to sit shotgun with my dad. We had an RV, and I was reading the map.
Now you know why she's always on my butt for an RV.
I was reading the map. I was like, there's this thing called Dinosaur National Monument in here. Let's see what it is. It's only like, an inch off the thing, because of course it was paper map, and which I prefer. I think they're so much more fun than GPS. Anyway, so we went, and it was like one of the coolest experiences. So we're hoping to get there. I want to take the kids. I want to go through Spearfish Canyon again. Redwood. I weirdly want to see Cheyenne. That's not a place that people particularly pick.
But the more I look at it, I'm like excited to go. So
maybe it's because she walks the beaches of Cheyenne, but I want to walk the beaches. You don't know what I'm saying?
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. No clue. The clue is not known.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
So I'm putting the reason why I'm not involved, we have some awesome cool news about some new stuff, and what? I just got you'll find out in a bit. You talk.
I get to hear first. I was gonna eat a chicken
wing. Eat your chicken wing, and while everyone watching you eat a chicken wing.
I keep leaning out when I bite.
Eat that chicken wing.
Y'all need to see me clear chicken wings like this.
Chicken wings, wings of chickens.
There were old men in the park in Savannah who used to fuss at me because I love chicken. I've eaten chicken wings like it's just my thing. I love chicken wings, and I would watch these men. They would just eat piles of them. And they would put them in their mouth and pull them out, and they would literally be like, "There's nothing left on the bone." And they taught me, and it's not a very ladylike thing, and I don't want people to see it. So there's
blah 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 blah.
All right. Hey, Def Leppard Rules Rock, thank you again. Where do you think is a good area to stay in Key Colk or Belize? Honey, anywhere in Key Colk is just fine.
I would go more towards the split. That's a little bit nicer. Not nice, it's just not as busy because you have like a town part. I think it's a little more residentially.
Quasi. But all of it's fine. All of it's safe. All of it is pretty clean. It's just the volume. Literally actual volume. You know what? Write us on the superheroes group and ask me that same question. Just tag me in it, and I will find you the place that we stayed because it wasn't. Caleb, if you put any more food on my plate, I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna beat you. You got it?
She's not gonna.
That's disgusting. I'm not actually gonna beat him. I just threaten things like that.
Yes.
So anyway, I will tell you the name of the place. It wasn't anything fancy, but it was very clean, and it was kind of on the quieter side, but still close to. I mean, you can't be far because literally everything's a stone's throw in Key Colker.
So duels. That's what I'm about to do to pull up the stuff on the screen, so we can do that. But I've already switched off the internet from here, so it's on the other thing. Yes, Caleb.
Tracy, what's going on with your knee? Something's going on with Tracy's knee, and I missed it.
Dad.
Yes, Caleb.
On the scale.
I love the Tetons, Almost Midas Productions. My dad and I, we were just talking about when he was in college. He did Outward Bound twice, and he spent what did he say? 2 months in the Tetons?
Yeah, 2 months in the Tetons.
And he randomly, this was in college, and he randomly ran into his high school guidance counselor. He's
after been like 5 days, he's like, I wonder if that guy has some food. Like he had food, but he wanted like new food.
And he's like, all I had was rice and whatever I caught or trapped, and like a can of beans. And he goes, then I see this guy, he's over there fishing, and I thought maybe he'll have some food to trade. You know, this was back in the day, right? And so and he goes, the guy's like, Nick.
No, he goes, Examus.
Yeah, he calls
what am I?
He's like, I was trying to get away from you. Anyway, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, come here and say hi, Liam, if you want to.
David Aruda, thank you for the super chat. David asks, I know you like Montmartre, but if you could stay closer to the river, Marais, Latin Quarter, Rue Claire, Quaint, busy locals area. Okay, so the Latin Quarter is always busy.
If you stay in the Latin Quarter, stay a little bit more towards the direction of the Eiffel Tower, and it'll be a little bit less busy, but it's still nice.
So that's the thing, because the Latin Quarter is really like collegiate, right? There's a lot of
not anymore.
It's gotten a little less that way, isn't it? But it tends to be a little louder a lot later than other places. I have never stayed in Marais. I cannot tell you anything about that, and I haven't really spent enough time there late in the evening to know what that's like. Latin Quarter's fine. Rue Claire. Haven't stayed anywhere near there either, so I can't really remark on that. Okay. Hey, Laura. It's nice to see you. Hello, Francis.
You're obviously in the world's slowest internet connection stuff because I'm trying to load a simple picture, and it just drove me crazy.
The ELE is not pronounced in Kolker. What does that mean?
Keycoker?
Keycoker? ELE. Okay. Mark, have you climbed a volcano and had a bit of anxiety of the volcano
exploding?
I did when I went to Italy one night. I was like, please, Vesuvius, don't explode. But the view from Vesuvius is stunning.
So you're going to see a video.
Upstairs going, it's dormant.
So we went to, when we were in Ecuador. No, Nicaragua. We were in Nicaragua. There was one you can go and you can actually see the lava bubbling and the magma bubbling in there, and you can hear it. And it's like, wow, that's exactly what I imagined melted rock to sound like. And so we were
scary.
But the thing is a few years ago, it had a mini eruption while there were tourists on there. There's actually videos. The Masaya volcano explodes with tourists. Watch that. It's not us, but there's another video. They'll show people feeling like, oh my god, because it goes a little shoot up. Very, very scary time. So
Francis has decided on New Orleans.
Oh,
hey,
nice.
When you go down to New Orleans, what's the place that we
There's Cafe du Monde.
No, not in New Orleans.
Oh, you talking about Baton Rouge?
No. Well, Baton Rouge. Natchez. That's where
Natchez, Mississippi is gorgeous. Lots of
Hop
gorgeous
around
names.
and go see Natchez.
So Liam is walking in slow motion around here, but he's been mouthing, shut up, Jocelyn, because of the shut up, Mark. So, got a drink. Can you hear him laughing about it?
He thinks he's funny. Hey, guess what?
So,
You're going to get spanked. Your brother's going to get beaten. You're going to get spanked.
It's hilarious.
Well, there's Grandma's. Thanks, Liam.
There you go. It's not hilarious.
Yes, it is.
So, other fun stuff. We got all kinds of questions. Liam, apparently, shocking, at Grandma's house, may have had too much sugar.
April just served Mark and Terry cheerwine with bourbon. She's really smart.
How is that?
She's missed Whiskey Wednesdays. I'm just having whiskey and a little splash of club soda, which might be why I'm
today's
so
whiskey,
silly.
Basil Hayden's, and I need that, Liam. I'm sorry, buddy.
Basil Hayden's is absolutely my favorite. It's one of the few things that I just drink completely straight. I did put some club soda in tonight's because otherwise I'm going to be a mess. Oh, she's saying it's pronounced Key Cocker.
Key Cocker.
Oh.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right, thanks.
Oh, her sister owned property there. Cool. Huh. Well, now you tell us. Would have been helpful last year.
Yeah, right?
So
we enjoyed our time there.
Yes, we did.
My kids really love the guy running around going, paletas.
Yeah, so we started buying them like crazy.
We buy paletas. They have them at Sam's now.
And they're gross. So,
they're okay.
Well, finish your stuff because I can't do what I want to do while you're shoveling blue cheese covered chicken in your face. In your pie hole. Okay, Liam, we got it. Yes,
it's no longer funny, Liam.
Yeah, Liam's at the age saying the same joke 40 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's still funny for him. Maybe after we finish that bottle, it'll be funny for us every time too. So, let's see. Other things out here. Take control. There you go. Travis, do you plan on going to Alaska in 2021? I don't think we'll get to Alaska in 2021 unless we can't leave the U.S. for the whole year.
And they let us in.
And they let us in. That's one of those things. Because I know there are some people that are kind of using Canada as we're going to go to Alaska and then they'll go see Canada. I don't think that's right.
Oh,
I talked to some. We were on a chat yesterday for Professor Walters, and one of our students is in Ireland, and he's like, there's a lot of Irish are upset with Americans because they're flying in, doing their thing in Northern Ireland, then coming in Ireland that way to kind of get around the restrictions. So I want to make sure we can be okay with that. Let's see.
Hang on. So Katie, I think it was Katie, said she just went to Savannah and stayed at the Marshall House. Honey, I love the Marshall House. 45 Bistro was like a second home to me for a long time. One of my good friends was chef there, and he's passed away sadly a couple of years ago. But I love that place. It just makes me happy. I can walk in there and just sit, and I tell you, that's awesome. So anyway, Katie also asks if we've ever experienced any hauntings in our travels. So the only place I've been really creeped out, well, there are a few in Savannah, but the big one is the Pirate's House. I was a manager there for a little while, right, like at the cusp of college and real life, and I was scared poopless a few times. So there's that. I don't know. And then we had a creepy house actually here when I was a kid that used to scare me.
I haven't really had anything. I've only had scary experiences
He's not sensitive.
with border guards and police in Russia. So that's what I think. Could you get the things?
Wait, why are you asking like you've asked?
Because we were talking about this.
But I didn't know.
Because you've been shoveling chicken wings in
but you didn't say anything.
I did. I said
no, you
chicken
didn't
wings.
tell me.
We're all lovely each other today. Anyway.
You didn't tell me. How am I supposed to just know by osmosis?
Because we have a bond of marriage.
Well, the bond
you
is
only
broken.
brought one. You only brought
one.
one.
The other one.
This is not the one.
I know, but that one's there too.
So you all have asked, and so we just found out that it is actually now
on the website. WaltersWorld.store.
And actually, I will find a thing. There it goes up. And so we actually finally have... Oh, sorry.
I actually really like myself in a mask.
So look, we actually have Walter's World mask now. And here's the thing. We have the normal mask like this. But the actual one I really like is with a strap. And because when you go to the drive-thru and you have to take it off and put it down, this goes down. And then you can put it back up. You got to keep...
Oh gosh. Okay.
Back and forth.
I like it because as soon as I get out of a store and I'm in the sunshine, not near people, I'm like whipping it off. But then I stick it in my pocket or my purse or whatever, and it's getting all over the place, and then I have to dig it out again. But this one, I can just go like this, and I can walk out and I can go bing, and it's right here.
And for me, I think this is what I'm actually planning a flight to Atlanta in a month or so to fly and use it because you don't want to put anything on the tables, you want it to fall on the floor. You can have it so it sticks with you. So we have those, and they are now available on WaltersWorld.store. There's a link in my comment I just had. But if you go onto our community tab, you'll see a picture of it, and you'll see there's the links on the community tab. It's on our Facebook page, all those things. So Twitter feed. So that is our new cool thing. It finally got to the point that people had the hospital stuff had bought enough stuff. Now we have enough masks. We can start doing stuff like this.
So, and these are cotton, and they're really soft, and they're 2-ply, and they fit his face, and also it fits my face.
Yeah. So we just got these online. That's why I wasn't saying anything yet, because I just got the confirmation
Which is why I
that it
didn't
was up
understand
right
what you
now.
wanted
That's
from
what I was
me.
talking about, because we were having this whole conversation on the drive over about it, like what should we do, how should we have it, and it finally is okay.
I wasn't picking up what you were putting down.
Obviously, no, I think that's a shut up, Jocelyn. Liam, say it. Thank you, Liam.
Do not encourage disrespect to her children.
He's not being disrespectful.
He's partially drunk. He's tipsy now.
Oh, I'm tipsy now. Nah, not quite yet, but thank you.
Close.
Oh, Rally Creative's on here somewhere. Hey, Rally Creative.
Oh,
Tyler Kuga, I just booked a flight to go to Charlotte. Any good things I can watch and prepare for my arrival? So I've never been to Charlotte. We've driven through. Here you go, Liam.
I've flown through. Oh no, I've been to Charlotte. There's a great children's museum.
Can you do the same thing on
Yeah.
Okay, there's a good children's museum. I went there for research for a children's museum. Go figure.
The Savannah Children's Museum.
Yeah. What else did we went there, didn't we?
I went to Charleston.
No. With Auntie Princess Sarah. Didn't we meet her
we met her
in
in
Raleigh?
Cary and Raleigh.
We met her in Raleigh.
My experience in Charlotte was just flying through the airport.
It was a really great airport. I haven't been through there in ages.
Scorpio Sue, I'm glad you love the mask.
Yes,
cool.
Actually, quite a few people had said great masks. They are really nice. I love them because they're super soft and washable, because I like to be able to reuse things. So
yes, so we have those. So they are live on the site now. If you go to our main page, or you go, well, it actually says waltersworld.store. I don't know if it's on the main page yet because they have like plain masks, but there's ones with the Walters World logo. And if you don't want the Walters World logo, we actually have the ones with the neck strap. I'll just wear this. Granted, I shouldn't wear hers. With the little thing around here.
We share all the same germs, dude.
I know we do. And so the ones with this, we actually have ones that don't have Walters World on it. So if you'd be like, look, I don't want people to know that I know this cool travel people. Like we have those as well. So that just went online. So please grab over one. Cool, Tom, really Mark. Great. So thank you, everybody. Because that was one of the things is when I've gone, you go to a restaurant and you're sitting outside and you're like, if I put my mask down, and especially like we have some masks like that we personally have that have like on the that's what's nice when you have this, you know that that's the outside, so you can put it down. But when it's like both like this, you're not sure you put it down or it falls on the ground or it's on a table or the tray table.
And let's talk about this. We tried 4 or 5 different types of masks to get one that was one. It was soft. It needed to be 2-ply. We wanted it. Obviously, we want washable, not throwaway. We wanted something that would fit both his face and mine, because we kind of figured there was a difference in size.
Some people have round noggins like mine.
It's a little more one size fits all. Actually, Caleb can wear this too, and his head's a wee bit smaller than mine.
But if you look, there are different sizes for some of them, so you could look and see different sizes.
Yeah, some do have, but not the ones with the gaiter, I think, or with.
Well, he was going to try to get it so we can have that. So that might be eventually, but go see what we have there.
So,
but yeah.
But the other part of one of the things that we learned in looking at masks and deciphering which we wanted was that this actually made life better because we knew which the front was and which up and down was. Exactly.
So yes, they will ship to the UK. Shipping's a bit expensive, but they will ship to the UK. We've had people. We actually a fan, Michael in the Netherlands, actually just got an embroidered Walters World jacket.
Did he?
Yeah, it came in. And the thing is,
said puffy coat?
No, he didn't. He got the rain jacket.
Oh, good.
And it took about 12 days for it to get there because shipping to Europe right now from the U.S. Because we actually use a company in our hometown in Champaign where we live.
Support local.
Yes, Campus Inc. And they are actually making it for us. And Steven and before Tom and Jed, they've been making our stuff for years. They made this and stuff. And so it's really cool.
They're incredible people and are like... They're local, but I feel like they're such a bigger thing than local. And I know they do work all over the place, but they do really good stuff.
And they would just sell some really cool things. Like for the University of Illinois band, they have one that's like a neck gaiter that has a thing so you can blow up the tuba and stuff. So really, really cool. Thank you all these people that have already ordered. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, there's a few on there. Thank you so much.
And this is a question I think we need to answer because probably several people have this question. Logan says, have you heard of Real ID? If so, what does it mean for the travel industry?
Okay, so Real ID is actually a video that I have my script already ready for it. So the next time we're like traveling, not just sitting at home, I'm going to be filming a video talking about Real ID. So for those of you who don't know, the U.S. passed a law that all IDs, you have to be in a certain kind of database. So they're checking to make sure all the IDs are legit. And what you'll see is if you have what's called a Real ID, when you get your driver's license, you can get a Real ID driver's license. It'll have a star, okay? But it's a certain kind of star, and you have to give a little bit more information for your driver's license to get it. And once you have it, then you can fly with that no problem. And because it was supposed to go into effect this year, but it's not going to go into effect until next year, October 2021, you have to have a Real ID to fly within the U.S., unless you have your passport. If you have your passport, just use that. Like I only use my passport when I fly, but you can use your driver's license for now until October 2021. After that, you have to have it's called Real ID. It's just basically, you're turning in like 3 or 4 more forms, like of proof that you exist. And that's basically what it is. And so then you'll get it. And basically, really, all it is on your driver's license is like a star on there. So that's about it. It's a lot of more effort, but you don't really notice much different except for a star on your driver's license. Now, some states have already done this, so you might have got your driver's license recently. It's already on there. I'm in Illinois, and my driver's license, the last one I got, they did not have the real ID, so it's not there. So I have to get one before next year, so it's all up to date. So there is that. But I'll have a much better explanation for it later. But you okay?
Yep, it was just my knee.
Because it's been pushed back and pushed back. It's kind of like for those of you wondering about the visa for Americans to go to Europe. Like Europeans have to get the ESTA visa to come to the U.S. It's just go online and fill some stuff out. The U.S. travelers will have to have that as well, and they've now pushed that back to 2022. Okay, so we have that.
Hang on, let's see. Get rid of that person. They're not allowed to say that. Yeah. Susie, thank you for following us for a long time. And she lived in Venezuela. That's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Caleb's godfather is Venezuelan.
Yeah. Museum Midlife, thank you for ordering the mask. The boys are annoying, but we still love them. Talaga, we have a new member. Hey, didn't tell us. Woo! Hey, thank you. Welcome to the party. So there'll be. I'll post a thing later. For members to say if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, so you can have those checked out.
Yeah. How are you going to do that?
It'll be on, if you go on the community tab, I'll post a thing that only shows up to members and says, hey, if you haven't joined the group yet, let me know, and then I'll give you an email. You'll see me and we'll get you hooked up. Yes, we did say gator, Darian.
No, but Gaiter, not those animals that live in a swamp that dogs eat.
So Donald, be nice. Donald Hughes, how have you and your children adapted going back to school? Both my wife and I are teachers. So like I said, for those who know, I'm a professor during the day, and all my classes I've actually filmed. I've been filming them around the world for the last 18 months. So my students don't just see me in a classroom; they get to see Rwanda, they get to see Luxembourg and stuff like that.
Praise God, you did it early.
Yeah, no kidding.
With some of it, you were just doing to be nice, right?
Yeah,
to have backup stuff.
Because here's the thing: is I have a huge class. Like this semester, I have over 1,000 students, and I know that not everyone comes to class, and especially those big classes. So even if they don't come to class, I want to make sure they can learn. So I was making videos for that. And so far, I mean, there's been technical problems like the Blackboard system. We call it Compass at Illinois, but the Blackboard system, like it graded the first quiz wrong, and now we have our second quiz, and my students are writing with grades. I'm like, there's no, if you watch the videos, there's no way you would have gotten these wrong. So there's been some issues there. So we're trying to figure some stuff out.
And the kids are doing pretty well. Liam likes it more than Caleb. Caleb, at 14 is just really missing the social part of school, so it's a little more difficult for him, but they're doing okay. I mean, scholastically, I think they're doing all right. So
yeah, I mean, Caleb misses his friends. Liam's doing okay. Like half his day to day was lost because there was the internet was down. The whole school district was down. So, but Luis Claudio Cursino Teixeira, muito obrigado, meu amigo. Sei que o Brasil está aberto. Eu adoro o Brasil. O Brasil está no meu coração. Então, muito obrigado pelo super chat. For those of you, Luis is from Brazil, saying Brazil is open for everyone. And that's one thing I got to tell people. Brazil is a fantastic vacation. Yes, Rio has issues. There are some other issues in terms of safety, but you can go places, Minas Gerais. I love Pantanal. There's so many great places you can go and not have to worry.
Ouro Preto is one of my favorite towns. Like I could live there. Oh my gosh, such a beautiful place. The people are so warm and kind. Love it.
Yes. James Williams, I've never seen James Cohen before. What would be a good average amount to bring to Italy for a first-time trip? I'm planning to visit for 8 days for my birthday, but I'm not sure what a good amount would be. Okay, so I want to assume your hotel's already taken care of. We're just going to assume that hotels are taken care of and your flight's taken care of. So if you're thinking for lunch, your lunch is going to be between 12, if you're not drinking, it's going to be between, like 12 and 15 euros, or like 12, 15, $16. Dinner will be probably between like $15 and $20. If you're just having like a starter and a main like that, if you have wine, you're going to add on more to it.
But if you're just drinking dinner, it's like what, €3 a drink ish.
Yeah, if you go to a
Not
cafe,
bad.
and remember, if you stand up at the cafe and drink there, it's cheaper than if you sit down.
Mm-hmm. So order
And a
at
lot
the
of times,
bar.
and also they may
They have
have
little snacks.
snacks. Yes, they have snacks. They have snacks. Aperitivi, you can have that. So there's that.
The.
So I'm sorry for
Hi,
those.
Lauren.
There's some other super chats that have come through here that have been stuck because
We're having some slowness.
Yes, we are.
Henry,
hey, Martinez, thank you very much for the super chat. So, do you guys sometimes wish you had a Canadian passport, as Canadians can travel to many more countries? Your thoughts on dual citizenships with Canada? Do you guys have a lot of Canadian friends? So we do have a lot of Canadian friends. Actually, my university, we had like a whole street of Canadians that we used to hang out with quite a bit. A lot of them have gone back to Canada or gone other places and moved on.
My aunt is Canadian. She's from Saskatchewan. I always laugh because her accent got worse when she moved to Minnesota.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that way.
But it is funny. I always tease her about it. But no, I've never thought to get dual citizenship with Canada. Maybe Greece because my heritage is Greek. I could do that. But we are who we are, and
the thing is a lot of people, you'll see people wear their Canadian patches on their backpack, and they say, "Oh, we get treated so much better." I've found it doesn't matter where you're from. If you treat people good when you travel, people treat you good back.
Be a
and
good
so
traveler, and it doesn't
never
matter
had
what
any
country
issues.
you're from. Be kind, be courteous, use a few words.
But
in
maybe,
local
then
languages.
do I put the Canadian flag on the back to see people are even nicer?
Oh, you can try.
We can try.
I can spend 5 minutes talking to my aunt before every trip and get the accent back down.
Yeah, and make sure you're drinking too when you're doing it, because then you're really taking the accent.
Because when I get on the boat, I can't.
Yeah,
I
just
have to
just
hear it,
just
and then it'll happen.
So A.M. Walden, when are you coming to Cali so I can buy you a beer? So that's actually one of our thoughts for later, like early winter, is to do California. Not do California, but like go from San Diego up to San Francisco and the petrified forest in the very north. We're looking at doing that for something
There's
like
a petrified forest in California.
the Petrified Forest National and State Parks.
There's petrified forest in Arizona.
Yes, but I want to go to the one that's there, and we can go see the banana slugs south of San Francisco for Liam. Anyway, yes, this is why they say shut up, Jocelyn, not shut up, Mark.
Lauren, I have never been to a Lithuanian restaurant anywhere in the United States. However, Lithuanian food is quite tasty.
Yeah, so if you're in Chicago, there's Grand Dukes.
There are.
Which, when we went up there to go there, we were up there
that.
last time we were going to go, and they had boobs,
We
and
didn't
I'm
eat.
like,
Right.
so I'm like,
But we knew it was there.
Time. Yeah.
You've been there, yeah?
Yeah,
I
and
just-
it's pretty legit. I'm very happy with it. Actually, I've seen some friends of mine from Lithuania back in the day. They've gone there too, and they're like, respect. I'm like, nice. So Lori Sims has a good question. Has the passport reapplication opened up yet? Yes, it has. You can do it, but we've had people where they got it back in 4 weeks, and we have people that are waiting now at 5 months and still haven't gotten it back. So it is a hit and miss, because right now I think it's 4 passport agencies are in phase 3, which is basically everybody's doing their job, everybody's working, everybody's there at work. But then there's 13 of them that are only like at phase 1, so it's limited staff. So they are
Thanks,
backed up,
Thomas.
but you actually can look, and they'll actually keep track now of like how many are in the queue, and then how many they've gotten in, what they're doing. So it's moving along. Like we went and got Liam's new passport. We applied for it this week.
Just pray, y'all, that it comes back soon. I don't feel good unless I have 4 passports and a passport holder. And that's
it was weird. I took because we come over to Grandma's house, so even if we're going for the weekend, I put stuff in our safe deposit box. And when I took the passport, because we have the passport holder thing that and I'm like, wait, this doesn't feel right. I kept opening up like, oh, there's one missing. I'm like, wait, and then when I got to the bank, I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I'm like, I know Liam's not there, but it doesn't feel right without it.
Saying Dennis, how many times do you travel per year? So it's not how many times, like more like how many months. Mark is about gone 6 months. I'm gone about 5, and boys are gone about 4. We kind of, things fluctuate how we go. Huge, just jump, massive.
And there's all kinds of stuff we miss. I really apologize.
Bubba. I
But
saw
we shouldn't say
your
it
name
too
fly
loud.
by real quick, and I saw a couple others, but it was fast. So.
Oh, Luis Claudio Crucino Teixeira, another super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. Muito obrigado. Says, I saw all your videos about Brazil. They're amazing. There are a lot of other places to visit there. There are. So, for those of you who don't know, I actually lived in Brazil for about 7 months in the early 2000s, like 2006. And I traveled like all around the Southwest.
Before we got together.
Yes. So I don't really think about it often because anything before Jocelyn just is gone. I don't even know how I know how to talk and walk.
Mark.
I don't because like honestly nothing happened before her. And so like I spent time like up on Recife in the Northeast for quite a bit, and then down in the Pantanal and Mato Grosso do Sul and Bonito and all kinds of places. So we had a great time. I'd gone before when I was an exchange student in Argentina. We have like a family in Brazil we stay with it because their son actually lived in my parents' house and I stay with them. And so like
They're our
family. Like
we're together.
When people get upset with us that we canceled one of our trips to Southeast Asia, I'm like, no, you don't understand. Luciano's getting married. There's no not going. It's like my brother. I actually talked to him with my real brother, but that's a whole other story.
Hey Nick, let's talk about that passport thing sometime on the superheroes chat thing. A.M. Walden says, any advice for a recent PhD wanting to move abroad again?
So
yes.
So there's a few things you could do. You could look for if you're a recent PhD, so you could look for what do they call them? My brain is just shut down on me. Because we have fellowships. You can look for fellowships, or you can do that for a year or two. I know, like where I work, they have a couple. One thing you have to realize is when you have higher level degrees in a lot of countries, it opens up a lot more windows, a lot more doors, I should say, for you to get visas and work permits. I know when I would go to get my work permit in Portugal every year, it was like, oh, Dr. Walters, come this way. But when Jocelyn was there, they're like, no, it took him 13 months to give her a first 12-month visa. So it's a different thing.
That was fun, having an and we left Schengen in that moment. And when I came back, I had this thing written in Portuguese that said that I had applied, and I'm like,
yeah. Which luckily we never had
to read that in Ireland. Like this was a problem.
Well, it didn't matter because Ireland didn't matter, but we already got that. Oh, hey, Mary Ellen.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry guys that we keep missing everybody's like comments and stuff because this thing keeps freezing. So we're kind of like randomly going back through. Traveling the world. What is your favorite Texas region? I was just reading Lonely Planet Texas, and the region that really called me was Dallas and the Panhandle Plains because I'm really interested in vintage USA. Wow, not a lot of people go for Panhandle Texas and Dallas. I'm going to tell you right now. Our buddy Mark Finley would say, no, you go to Fort Worth and see stuff. So be careful with that. But for me, I just really love San Antonio. I've gone there a number of times over the years and just find it a fantastic place to go to.
San Antonio is probably one of my favorites.
Cheers, Talladega.
Also, I like Austin, like the downtown area of Austin. The problem for me is that like right now, men outnumber women like 4-1. And so although I'm there with my husband holding hands, rings on, men are still hitting on me.
While I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm right here, dude.
It was really kind of funny because I southerned him to death and it was great. I actually enjoyed that. It was a little bit.
It was pretty funny. Well, you can tell, like, so I was filming. If you want,
there was that guy.
Was it the Don'ts of Austin?
We're in a park.
Did I do a Don'ts of Austin or was it Don'ts of Texas? Don'ts of Austin.
I don't know. We were.
I did a Don'ts of Austin, and I'm like, I've got his tail. We got the thing where the bats are. And Johnson's
I'm sitting 10 feet away on a blanket.
No. Let's give him a break. You were 20 feet away.
I was not far from my husband. I'm reading a book, like sitting on the ground reading a book, and this guy comes up walking his dog.
Dostoevsky. I mean, it was like
it was a big thick book. They usually are, and he starts like talking to me, and I'm like,
which
and
could
he's
have been
like, hey, what about this guy? And I was like, you mean the guy with the filming? Yeah, what's that all about? Who's he think he is? I'm like, well, he's my husband, and at the time it was like, I don't know how many subscribers we had, but a significant amount of subscribers. And I'm like, and he was like, oh, okay. So what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, did you not catch that? He's my husband. You just made fun of him. You interrupted my freaking book.
Honestly, she was more upset about interrupting her book than her husband thing. Like, let's be honest.
It was actually really funny. But then we were at the bar on
Rainy Street.
The
bar. There's like tons of bars.
Yeah,
Rainy
whatever.
Street's really
the
cool
bar
in
we
Austin.
Hung out with.
So if you're ever in Austin, if you go to Rainy Street, it's all these like cottage houses. They've turned into bars. It actually is really
super
cool.
cute.
It's really cool.
But we were sitting outside, and this guy, I'm sitting there at a table for two with my husband, and we're like cuddled. You know how we are? Y'all see us. Shut up. We're always
why
like.
Are you touching me?
We touch all the time. We hold hands. Caleb's making fun of us for holding hands in the car today.
He's like, stop it.
It's our thing. We hold hands. So, and guys are literally hitting on me. So, that's enough of that. Austin's weird if you're a woman alone. You might want to take a flak jacket or mace.
Flak jacket.
I don't know.
Not mace. It was just
to like.
It's like, hey, I'm not. I like to really say I'm not interested.
Need an aura.
But you know,
right?
maybe if you're looking.
Oh.
It's a great place.
Yes, it's a great place to pick up men.
Yes. So,
hey, Deb.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Hey, Deb. It's nice to see you. We love Jamaica.
So do we. So Jack Presley, what's the worst place in the U.S. in terms of cold weather and snow? But I don't want to move somewhere like Arizona. It's really hot, but I like the look of Pennsylvania, Virginia. So Virginia, North Carolina, you'll be fine. North Carolina will be a little warmer.
Too.
Oh, I don't know Texas.
Better than here.
Better, yeah. But there are some options.
So Virginia, particularly like Richmond, like Southern Virginia, is really moderate. I mean, it'll get chilly and things. Pennsilvania? Did you say Pennsylvania?
They said Pennsylvania.
Oh, because
Pennsylvania can be a little chilly, especially
cold.
towards the north part.
With the wind and stuff too. So Tennessee is nice because you have all 4 seasons. It does get hot and pretty humid in the summer, but escape to the mountains where it's cooler and you've got this built-in thing. It's really lovely.
So, Catherine Hegarty is great mass. Thank you very much from New Jersey.
Hey.
Trying to go to the Outer Banks for a mini holiday in September. Oh, awesome. You'll love it. We have a video on the Don'ts Outer Banks and what to eat in North Carolina and duck donuts. Just go, and you're welcome. You're welcome.
Allison said that University of Idaho is on campus right now, and anyone caught without a mask, the school president said they'd be expelled.
Yeah, U of I, they just kicked out 2 people. So we're suspended. I mean, that's the thing is we're making all these masks to try to help people out, but also, I mean,
you actually have to wear the damn thing.
You have to wear the damn thing. I mean, that's one of the things. The U of I, where I work, I get tested twice a week. They have a spit test that just got FDA approved, and I go twice a week to get spit tested. I'm waiting for my latest results, but I was okay on Monday, so I went today and got it again before coming to Grandma and Grandpa's house to make sure, because I've seen nobody since then. But you got to be careful. And it's amazing. Like on campus, a lot of people masks are doing good, but a lot of places you'll go, it's like they're walking out the door of the store, it's off. Just got to be careful.
I don't take my mask off until I'm not near people. But if I'm in a parking lot and there's no one around me, I'm breathing the fresh air, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Stacy Swalwell, I'm a big fan. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for the super chat, by the way. I'm planning a trip to Cyprus. Would you stay in Larnaca or Paphos?
I've not been to Cyprus.
I spent more time in North Cyprus. And the Republic of Cyprus, as a tourist, is a much better destination with stuff to do. And also, it's weird. Though it's an island, there's very distinct weather on both sides. Nicosia and left Nicosia, like there is a total difference. And the Republic of Cyprus side is much more of a tourist place to go. I think I would base it on what you can find in the reviews, because you're going to go out and explore the island anyway, then go hit the beaches.
Because it's not huge. I'm guessing.
It's not huge. You can get around a lot of places very easily. I mean, it's not like Malta, which is super tiny.
Cyprus is like Crete.
I don't know if it seemed that. Maybe it's that big.
Like in the equivalent, and I haven't been to Cyprus, so I can't say that. Mark went there with an old
but if you can rent a car, it really won't matter. But it's still crazy. Yes, you can go. We can go.
Did you catch what I just said?
No, but I'm going to guess it was like, you should take me to Malta, you horrible husband.
You went to Cyprus with an old girlfriend.
I went to Cyprus with Magnus.
You went there with a girl.
Oh, North Cyprus. Yes, I did. Well, we weren't dating at the time we went. Yeah, that was a fun one. Here's a fun story that Jocelyn doesn't know.
Really?
Yeah, so when I went to North Cyprus, so
No, tell me, not them, tell me.
I was moving to Germany
Yes.
and to do my master's.
Ooh,
And the German girl,
yeah, Julia or something.
Ulrika, yes,
whatever.
she was a flight attendant, and so I was going there, and I got there, and we're like, okay, because I was going to do my master's in Berlin, and so I got in, got my stuff there. She's like, we're going to go to North Cyprus, and you go to Berlin for your master's. And so we go to North Cyprus, and then she tells me, like, the first night, oh, by the way, I slept with one of the pilots, and it's over. I'm like, you could have told me before the trip? And it's funny because this is before digital cameras, so there's pictures from the trip, and you can see the before she told me and after she told me pictures. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, thanks. Anyway.
She's a bee.
Hey, I'm happy
so
for
glad
you.
You found me.
So am I. You're way better than her. Jesus Christ. I mean, she was a nice girl, but yeah.
Until that.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So Logan Adams has a question. As a gay guy, I worry about traveling to certain countries I really want to visit. Would it be safe for me to travel to some countries? If so, where would I draw the line? So Logan, here's one of the things I've seen in general, where I've seen the most kind of homophobic behavior and kind of things. And sometimes it's not that much, but it's still one of the things. Eastern Europe, pretty much anywhere in Africa, you have some issues. It's interesting because in South America, what I've seen, like Brazil, it's like, whatever. Some other places can be a little more conservative, but like no one does anything. Like it's just like, oh, okay, but they're kind of cool with it. I can't really say for Asia and Southeast Asia myself.
What I want to say about several places though is that, particularly like when we were in Rwanda, they don't really care if you're gay, but they really care if there is any kind of PDA, whether you be gay or straight, or anything in between. Like Mark and I hold hands all the time. It's just natural for us to do that.
Yeah, it was at Rwanda, they're like, don't do that.
Rwanda,
they're like, don't hold hands.
Paul, our guide, was like, y'all don't do that. Like, I'm like, oh, I mean, I hug my husband, I kiss my husband. We're just, this is who we are all the time.
Because I'm so fuzzy.
He's like, we don't, and we actually, we talked about that, particularly about gay travel too, because we have several friends who had talked about going to Africa, and so we kind of wanted to gauge how that would go for them. And so be aware that sometimes it's fine to be gay. It's not fine to show PDA. And that is usually something that it goes across the gamut, whether, whatever. PDA is just not acceptable in a lot of places. So we try not to do that in places that are conservative like that, even as a straight couple.
And one thing I will say, this is one thing, I mean, if you watch our videos like on Budapest from 10 years ago, I actually had a thing saying, look, if you're homosexual or you're African or you're Asian, do be careful. The steps, how far places have come, yes, they still have issues, but how far a lot of places like Budapest has come in terms of acceptance and hey, you're another tourist, because let's be honest, what they really love is the tourist dollar, so they don't care the sexuality though. But that's one thing I have been so happy about. Is something I've seen around the world over the last 10 to 20 years, 25 years of doing this now, is how much more accepting the world's become for gay travelers, and that's really a wonderful thing. LGBTQ travelers, so I'm really happy about that. So, Rachel Seitz, have you ever thought of retiring abroad?
Rachel, sorry. My dream is to have a tiny apartment in the U.S., somewhere in, basically on every continent. I particularly want one on an isleta in Lake Nicaragua.
Yeah, we could do that one. We could do that one.
Because that would maybe be affordable. I really want a little place in France and a little place in Greece. I would love to have a little place in Rwanda. I would love to just spend my life.
Yeah, I'm all about, we can rent a place.
Yeah, so that's Mark's idea. Just sell everything and rent. But you know what? I have artwork that I buy from people on street corners that I need to put on walls. So I need like a lot of walls, right? So I just get little tiny efficiencies all over the world and fill them up. That would be my goal. We disagree. I'll win. But I'm only saying that because he's not sitting here right now. All right, so this just, I don't know what just happened here, but it's all messed up. Mache says, my son uses his passport as his photo ID. Since he doesn't drive yet, I'm struggling giving up his passport for months on end. So Mache, listen, I can't even imagine how that is for you because I have that problem with Liam, and Liam is 9. I had to think about that. My God. Hi, Kath. Hey, look who joined us. Everybody say hi to Kathy. Am I not lucky to have this woman as my mother-in-law? Say hi. I need to say this. Oh, Henry, thank you for the super chat. Mark, were you ever able to resolve your newer PC issue? MacBooks can also have Windows through Boot Camp or Parallels. Chromebook are cool. Okay, Henry, I'll read that to him. Do you know what Mark's doing?
He's getting something to eat.
Oh, he's shuffling around in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
What he had? Like 2 pieces of pizza.
I think he's gone after the strawberry pie.
Oh, shoot. There's strawberry pie. And the strawberry pie Kathy got specifically for us. Here's a funny story. When I was a kid, my neighbors, Gail and Terry, really nice couple, just the kids, and we all got along. You know, we had kids. Their daughter babysat us, and then their son was my age, and their youngest daughter was my sister's age. And so we hung out all the time. And then we come, you know, how many years later? 20, 30 years later? 30 years later?
Yeah, maybe 30.
Because I was little then.
Yeah.
So like 30 years later, how did that even happen? We went to Hannibal.
Well, you said something about Terry and Gail.
Right.
And I said, well, Gail was in my wedding.
So, yeah. So one of her bridesmaids was my neighbor, which is like as random as it can get, considering they were from all different towns and whatever. Yeah. So anyway, so they have this lovely little restaurant in Hannibal, Missouri. So if you're ever there, Greater Days is a lovely place to get.
Right there on Main Street.
The best pies. And so Terry makes these pies, and they are to die for. And so Kathy had one of his strawberry pies made for us today.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Look, you've got like 5,000 hi Kathys there.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Of course, you know I can't see.
It's okay. Mark has it on little, and I don't know how to get the pop out without messing things up. So,
hi, everybody.
You going to help me with that, love? That one. Okay.
Oh, that helps.
Got it. Super.
That helps still.
Thanks, Daddy. So there was a super chat that came through, and I think I missed it. Yeah, I know it's yellow. Someone said Malta's amazing. Listen, I want to go get my master's in Malta, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Let's see.
Dag nabbit. Grace says, my parents and I are thinking of moving to Savannah or Somerville, South Carolina. Tips on moving south from Idaho. The shopping in Savannah is amazing. It is.
Yes, it is.
Grace, I moved from the Midwest to Savannah, and be open, be polite, learn their extra politenesses. Like the first time I went on a blind date. And the guy, his brother was there too. It was like a bunch of different people. Anyway, and his brother said, "It's nice to see you," when he shook my hand. And I was like, "Nice to see you too." Like it was weird instead of "nice to meet you," right? But they do that there because what if you've met the person and you don't remember? You don't want to make an ass of yourself and say it's nice to meet you when you've already met them. So you say it's nice to see you. So there are these little nuances in the South, and you'll pick them up if you pay attention. Just pay attention. How about that? I really need to find. There it is.
There you are, Stacy.
Oh, we already got that one, so I don't have to worry about that. It was Stacy's thing about going to Cyprus, so we're good on that. All right. My goodness. Megan Morris, thank you for calling people out about talking about politics. If you guys are new to this channel, we are anti-politics speaking. Like, Mark and I don't even discuss who we vote for with one another, and we're really, really close. So if you want to talk about politics, that's absolutely fine. Just don't do it here. All right. So Nick P says, my favorite state for beauty now is definitely Colorado. It's hard to not fall in love with Rocky Mountain National Park and the Rocky Mountains in general. The Rockies are something spectacular. Have you been out there?
Yeah.
Yeah? And?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been out to see your niece, yeah? No?
No. Well, we saw her get married.
They get married in Steamboat?
Well, some little place near there.
Outside, yeah.
Yeah. And
Don't make my mom look bad.
I'm not trying to make your mom
Trying to make my mom look bad.
Listen,
Call her out.
I've had like 3 glasses of Basil Hayden with just a splash of soda.
Well,
I'm
She's
lucky.
a saint.
She is.
Don't you dare say anything bad about my mom.
Do you want to drink with me so that you can be equally tipsy?
well, I've already got a drink, but it
Well,
not bourbon,
let's
so I don't really
let's
want to
sip
mix it.
Bourbon and a splash, because do you want to get in this chair? I might not be.
I tell you what, why don't I
Same.
switch my mom with you and I'll take that chair because I feel that chair's a little bit sturdier.
I love this chair. This chair makes me feel like I'm like George Washington or something.
Well, it could.
it's that
it could,
it's that era.
It could be that era.
It's well, or maybe not quite
Yeah.
that old, but it's an old, beautiful. Do y'all see this beautiful chair? I love it. I feel special, except that I'm tipsy now, and so I should not be in
it's
it.
a
You
really
go,
nice
take a break.
Windsor.
Bye, hugs.
It's a really
She'll
nice
be back later, folks. Don't worry.
Windsor chair.
Back for more.
And now, the true dream team is up.
There you go.
Walters and Walters.
Yes, I've been to Colorado several times, starting when I was in like 13 or 12, just a few years
When
ago.
you were a kid?
Wait,
Yeah.
you didn't just go to Ohio as a child?
No,
Oh, Kathy's throwing
there
you
were
under the
other
bus.
places. There were
Listen.
other places to go. Out east.
There were other places?
Usually out east,
to
but this
go.
one time we went west. This one time we
Oh,
went
no,
Make
I
fun of my
can't.
mother-in-law.
I can because she's my mom.
Don't
She's
do
just
that.
your mother-in-law.
Yeah, well, don't do that.
I'm trying to make you look not bad. I can.
He's mad at you because you send him to Ohio all the time.
I didn't care then. It was fine. We
Well,
always
we,
had
had
fun.
we had a good time.
Sandusky and going to Cedar Point. And
What's there not to like about Cedar Point and visiting your friends?
I think everything is there to like.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway. So I'm going to randomly answer some questions on this feed because, frankly, what we're seeing here keeps getting stuck. So I am going to read what I see here. So if you've already been answered, I apologize. Oh, Tom Seaver just passed away? That's too bad. He was a good reporter, Tom Seaver. And I thought you loved baseball.
I like the Cubs.
Oh, you like the Cubs. Okay.
Or the Mets.
We're the Mets. Anyway, all right. Okay. So, we're all highlighted. All right. Sorry. Yes. Let's try to stay out the politics on here. Let's see. See, I would like to move to some other stuff, but our thing is frozen here.
I'm glad I didn't. Well, I did get on for a minute.
Well, no, that's not, dude. I'm sure.
But,
It's just Comcast being Comcast. You know.
oh yes, I do know.
Yes. So my parents had a wonderful experience with Comcast the last couple weeks. Someone had stolen their
about a week
email
ago.
and trying to get it back and everything, and Comcast was
And
very
we
helpful.
lost 2 or 3 years of emails.
But I digress. Okay, let's see. Make sure I see we're having some issues with the stream. Okay, now I guess I don't feel as bad since the stream is completely screwed. So I apologize for that. Oh, we had 2 new members, but I only said hi to 1. I apologize to that. I wonder if my dad got on the computes.
Shall I
Could you
check
ask and
that
see?
out?
Because you see, here's the thing: is now that we're at Grandma and Grandpa's house, Grandpa is like, I do whatever I want, which is totally fine. It's his house, but it's kind of funny how these things go. So, excuse me, I'm gonna go from the mini feed that's next to the video here. Yeah, lots of lag, Lori. So is the is the audio still okay, even with the lag? Oh, Talega sent a super chat, but it was skipped. Okay, Talega, I'm gonna go look for it, see if I can find it. Was he?
He's not on it. I think it's 2 children upstairs and maybe the
Okay.
neighbors.
Maybe the neighbors, are they on your? The
No,
neighbors are on your
Somebody
internet.
else is scooping in.
So Talega, tell me your question again. Your so I can try to find it because I can't. It's not letting me go back. This is frustrating. Anyway, yeah, because on ours, all it's showing is like from like 5 minutes ago. So anyway, we'll focus again. So Mick Barnett says Yankees. Yeah, nice. I'm a Cardinal fan myself, just like Thomas Reiser. Yeah, Lori Sims, dumb Comcast. I wish we could, but where I live, we do not have an option. My neighbors behind me, they have the fiber thing, and they have like what you call like real internet, like where you could actually like watch 2 TVs at the same time. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Talega, do send me the question one more time, so I can look for that because I feel bad because I can't even go look back for it now because the internet sucks. Comcast. Oh, hey, here's a funny story for Comcast. So I teach a course in marketing, and I was talking about service marketing and how bad things happen and what companies, what people can do. And so I told my students, hey, tweet out, your issue and put like hashtag the company. And so there was all this hashtag, it was like at Comcast and then hashtag Walter's World, and they just was just nailing everybody. Like they're just like all my students. I mean, it was a class of 600 students, and I mean, there was like 200 that were saying like, "We hate you, you screwed me over," la la la. And one of my former students was at the time a consultant, and so they were in Comcast, like social media hub to like, make sure everything's going okay if there's any problems or any lost service or whatever. And then he's like, and he wrote me, he was like, Mark, did you do the service marketing class today? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, because I was at Comcast Center and all of a sudden, hashtag Walter's World with people totally hating on Comcast. Like, it was so funny. And it was like, there's like 150 things that came up with hashtag Walter's World at Comcast. You suck. So sometimes when you're a professor, you've really touched a younger generation. And I think that was one of those times I helped them learn. Let's see. Okay, so Talega, any countries you wouldn't go to for safety or principle? Yes, there are places that we will not go. Hopefully that is the question you have for your super chat. I apologize for missing it. So, like, I will not go to North Korea. I know people are like, you can go to North Korea. No, I'm not going to North Korea. Like, I'm not going to go anywhere that puts my family or me in danger. And some people are like, well, you go to El Salvador, you go to Nicaragua, you go to Brazil. I'm like, yeah, it's not the same. We don't go anywhere where it's a war zone. I actually look for flights to make sure we don't fly over war zones because I just don't want to put ourselves in that kind of risk. I mean, I'd love to visit a lot of places, but, we make a call. No, we will not do that. So there's some stuff there. Jack Presley's a Liverpool fan. Good job, Jack. I remember I was actually with my parents in Spain when Liverpool came back in the Champions League final and tied it and won it, in the extra time. And it was funny. That's actually the same day I learned to love olives. So it's a very big day. I learned to love olives, which helped me with my Greek wife. And Liverpool came back and won the Champions League. That was the most insane. Because it was funny because my dad and I were watching the first half. Well, Mom, you were there too. We were watching the first half. And at the end of the half, I'm like, screw it. Let's go visit more Madrid because nothing's here. So we go and... we're just having like tapas and stuff like that. And like, these are really good. This is really nice. And then we come back, and then it was like we watched the end of it, like, oh my God, they won. That's crazy. So I always got to give a little love to Liverpool and all the fans there, Liverpudlians. We have a friend of ours who passed away this year, last year, who was from there, who has always meant the place very near and dear to our heart. Peter Payne, why don't you put some Ethernet cable in the ground then? Digging trenches is good cardio. You know, I might just do that. But knowing Comcast, they might have someone come out during the night and just cut the line. But that's just me. Let's see, another question on here. Okay, so Rose is saying the weirdest thing I had was bull's testicle ceviche in El Salvador. What was the weirdest thing you ate? Okay, that. I mean, we're gonna go out to the Rocky Mountains here next month, and you know, Rocky Mountain oysters are testicles, but I have not had the ceviche kind where I get to see them marinate in the lime and citrus, lemon, onionness. So that's pretty crazy. I don't know, Mom. What's the weirdest thing you've had, or the strangest thing you've had to eat?
Oh, that tripe soup.
Oh,
in Romania. God, how could you forget about that?
Yeah, no. So my mom and I went to Romania together many years ago, and we were trying to try all the we looked online. We looked. What's the best restaurant? And we ate all the stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you have to have this soup." And when it comes out, it's like this yellow soup. And you're like, "Did you give me a bowl of melted butter? Because that would be awesome." Well, it was melted butter and tripe in it, and some people like tripe. And then the other 99.9% of the population do not like tripe. And if you don't know, tripe is the stomach and intestines, the innards kind of stuff. And yeah, it was horrible. That was horrible.
That was horrible. I can't think. Well, that one time when sometimes they clean shrimp and they use bleach water.
Ooh, yeah, you gotta be careful
when
with that.
When we were eating at that one Peruvian restaurant in Uruguay, in Montevideo.
Oh yeah.
That's what had happened, and it basically just made me sick because
Yeah.
But that was just bad food.
Yeah, because there's bad food and there's weird food. Like I know we were in. If you watch our Japan videos in our Kyoto one we put out a couple weeks ago, we went and had it was basically like an octopus corn dog, or no, actually it's like an octopus popsicle, but it was hot. That was kind of weird, but tasted okay. Caleb had
that's what it was.
Yeah, we should know what it was. And then Caleb had a little octopus on a stick, and then when he bit the head, it actually had a quail's egg inside it, and he's like. I use that. I use that clip in so many videos because it's such a great Caleb what the heck kind of thing. So that's one there.
Well, and we didn't know what we were eating in China often.
Yeah, in China we didn't know what we were eating. We didn't really ask. Though we had mule. We know we had that because Shrek was on the menu.
Donkey.
So you see Shrek at a restaurant in China, that means they probably have donkey. So just FYI.
Yeah. I never knew what I was eating in China.
Peter Payne, thanks for helping me out. Yeah, it's weird because even on the OBS, the system I'm doing recording this, that's even choppy, which is really crazy. So Purdue, I have not watched we don't have Apple TV, so only Caleb has Apple. He tells us we're old and we have dementia because we have Android phones. So grandma's got an iPhone 10 or 11.
No, that's your father. He has a 10. I have a 6. But I like.
You have a 6? Oh my god!
I like and the 6.
Mom, come on! I don't know if Caleb. Don't tell Caleb. He might not hang out with you.
Well.
Anyway, so let's see. Videos coming back, but choppy. So Michael, one of the things is I'm always adventurous when we eat, because my thing is I gotta try it, whether it's guinea pig in Peru or it's the octopus stuff. I know, we're gonna go out. I'm gonna have Rocky Mountain oysters. We gotta have that. There's stuff. It's always willing to try. I remember I remember the moment where I realized you can eat anything. I was in Mexico with my dad, and this is in 90. When did I go? 94. It's been a while. In 94, I went with my dad down to Mexico, and I went to this place, and they had lingua. It was like you have gordita, which is like a sandwich kind of thing. And they're like, "Oh, what do you want inside?" And I'm like, "Oh," and I asked these girls I had met in Guadalajara, and they're like, "Oh, lingua's our favorite." I'm like, "Oh, I'll go with lingua." And and at that time I had 2 years of Spanish because I was in high school at the time. And I'm like, "Sure, I'll try lingua." And so I had lingua. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is so good! It's amazing." And they're like, "Lingua's tongue, you know that?" I'm like, "Oh, it is." But the thing is that it was so enjoyable. I'm like, you know what? Just because it sounds weird to you doesn't mean it's a weird food, and it was so good. So ever since then, I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it. I will try it. And there's only been a few times I haven't liked things. What was one, babe? What was one thing I really didn't like? Remember?
Oh, in France, the things that taste like poop.
Things that taste like poop. Are you
There's
talking about?
there's sausages that taste.
Oh, and the Louise sausage in the Loire Valley. Oh my God, that was horrible.
That was pretty terrible.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. That was really bad. And then, there's the potatoes in, poop out.
Oh, in
Lithuania, that was pretty bad.
But there are things that we eat regularly that other people find to be like frog's legs.
Yeah. So Jocelyn is talking about something we like what we eat. Some other people find weird or gross. I know, like it was so cool. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? They had 2 weeks ago. They had frog legs at our local grocery store, which they never have, and so we bought the only 2 legs they had. Jocelyn did not make a video on it because she's like, I don't know. I wish you would because they were amazing. But I know most people are like, ooh, frog legs. And so Caleb, my parents, there's a pond behind my parents' house. And Caleb's like, we can go catch some bullfrogs and we can eat some bullfrog legs tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a thing called runoff. You might not want to do that. But anyway. Nick D, off screen, Jocelyn is upset that her tripe video is going to have to be scrapped. I love it.
I don't make tripe because I don't eat.
Yeah, she doesn't make tripe because she won't eat it.
I'm not a big fan of innards.
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry that I'm looking so down because the only thing that's working with the thing is the little tiny thing on here. So how tiny that is for you, it's like even smaller for us. Has anyone ever been to Ostia? I want to go next year to go to Rome. I think it's a short train ride. Herculaneum is awesome too. I did a great tour there. Yeah. So for those of you that are going to like the Amalfi Coast, you have 2 really great sites to visit that were covered by Vesuvius when it blew.
I like Herculaneum best.
Jocelyn likes Herculaneum best. My sister-in-law Linda likes Herculaneum best because it is a small, compact city. I mean, it's like 5 blocks square that you can go and see stuff, and there's there. Then you have Pompeii, which is a whole city that they undo. Hey, baby, can you grab my phone from Liam?
And then there's Paestum.
Yeah, and then there's Paestum, which has these beautiful temples that were built in swampland, and so they got rid of them because of all the malaria that caused when they would go there. So,
but they're still there.
They're still there. It's gorgeous. My dad and I and my mom went there. So Logan was some more. No, Mark, have you been to Galveston? I have not been to Galveston, but we're looking at a possible Texas trip to visit the Finleys and other friends of ours in Texas later this year. So we have the Mountain West trip, then come home, and then the Texas trip. So I'm going to guess it'll be like a Christmas Texas trip kind of time. So we'll have to drink, was it Fredericksburg in Texas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's where we're going to go through there and see all the Christmas stuff there.
So there's that. Said it's only at 19%.
That's right. I only need to reshare something. So for those who don't know, today we have released these new. Yeah, I'm not holding weird things on my face.
I love how you put that on.
How do you? I know there's no sexy way to put on a mask.
Oh yes,
but it is.
Give it to me.
Jocelyn will put it on sexy, and then we'll get banned from YouTube for like naughtiness. So we have masks, yes, with the Walters logo. But here's the cool thing: this on here makes life so much easier. You go through the drive-through, you can pop it off and have your order. You order, and then when you go up to put it on, boom, you just throw it back on. See. Yes. I can't make it sexy. There's nothing I do that makes it. Jocelyn just bent over and looks sexy. I can't do that.
Don't talk about me bending over on national or world, whatever that is.
Anyway, but what's cool is like I'm looking forward to fly with this because then it's right there. It doesn't fall on the floor. And if you want to grab one, if you go to our community tab, I just posted a link to go grab one. I will post one here real quick.
They are nice.
Yeah.
I tried one on. I kept wondering though, how do you get this on? I got it on after I put the mask on. I just slipped it on over there.
Yeah. So hold on, I gotta.
Because it was like it's kind of feels reversed.
I'm just trying to put it up on the little thingy there. There you go. So if you want to grab one, or 2 or 3 or whatever. I mean, whatever you want to get. If you want to give, you know, it's okay. But I just love
Weeks
this.
of-
I love this that I don't have to, because so where we live, they do have indoor dining. I did go indoor dining. I was like a little freaked out. But outdoor dining, we were doing that, and that was okay. But it was always weird because you put it like, how do you put it down? This way you don't have to worry about it. It just sits there for you. And if you're a messy eater like me, hey, at least Andiamo doesn't get dirty. So also you can grab the Andiamo shirt at waltersworld.store. So there is that. So some cool stuff. Anyway, let's get back to some questions. Let's see if we can open up the questions again. So Henry Martinez, thank you very much for the super chat. Mark, were you ever able to resolve your newer PC issue? MacBooks can also have Windows through Boot Camp or Parallels. Chromebooks are cool too. So I thought I had everything figured out, Henry, but apparently I did not because it's still acting up. So we still have a little bit more to go, but hopefully it'll work. But that's one thing I'm looking forward to is when, I'm thinking for the Christmas this year, Santa Claus, hopefully he'll bring me a new computer and we can get things at work. So Troy Stansel, thank you very much for becoming a helpful traveler. I think that's the other member I missed, and I'm sure that was like hours ago, but for some reason that now you see how things are just locked up on our end. So I apologize. So I'm going to go back to the other feed because, yeah, this is a little frustrating when the lag is that bad. So Quartz, the person who likes to put their name as the letters on the top of the keyboard, asks, who designed the Walters World logo? It's so unique. So the Walters World logo, for those of you that haven't seen it before, Jocelyn Walters designed that. She's raising her hand over there. And the thing is, if you notice, if you've ever seen Amtrak Station, that's the Amtrak Station sign with Walters World there. And the reason why we have that is because if you're taking the train, you can be rich, you can be poor, you can be middle class, you can be anything. We all take the train together. And so our video is to help anybody that travels, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're whatever, we're there to help you. And that's why we try to make sure our videos are helpful for everybody. And that's why it shows on our logo. So I hope that helps you understand why it's there. Cow's tail. I see where this is the stuff I'm seeing, like cow's tail coming up. Let's see. Francis would go to Herculaneum. Yeah, you should. Oh. Eric B knows. I know someone who ate camel hump. Not me, though.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Huh.
Let's see.
Spitty.
I would think it'd be like tongue or something, tough.
Well, no, tongue's not really. Tongue's not tough.
Tongue is very, very tender.
So here's what's funny: is all of our stuff is frozen. So it says we're going through excellent connection and everything is working, but everything is lagged, and our live chat hasn't moved. I'm going to assume it's because everyone hates us, but like nothing is showing up. I have Henry Martinez's chat from a while ago that's showing up, but so we'll answer some random questions that we'll just think of. Let's see what's on here. James Williams, thank you very much from Rhode Island visiting. I should have been to Rhode Island next month, or next week, eating Portuguese food outside of Providence.
Drinking sumol and umabika.
That's right, drinking some sumol. I'm having some cocida portuguesa. Umabika.
I will read with you.
No, I mean, this has been stuck here for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then when I go to this one...
That's stuck too?
Yeah, that's stuck too.
Y'all, that stinks. I'm sorry.
I know. And I had taken a bunch of stuff off this computer, so hopefully it would have worked. So we wouldn't have had too many issues. But apparently,
Grandma's internet is not the awesomest tonight. What happens at our
yeah,
house?
Grandma.
Oh, it's not her. It's
Pick
her.
on poor Grandma. Lovely. Yeah, see, Liam is looking out for Grandma. That's right.
It's
Grandma would never do anything
Oh
wrong.
my God. I'll just leave again.
That's right. Hey, so we got it back. So the History Underground. JD, buddy, when you go through the Badlands, there's a prairie dog town by the east entrance where you can hand feed prairie dogs. I'm writing this one down. So for those who don't know, History Underground has some really cool videos on like different kind of history stuff, and he did a bunch of stuff recently on the Badlands, Mount Rushmore, all around there. So definitely check out his channel. We actually did an interview with him on his channel, I don't know, a few months ago, wasn't it now? But really kind of fun stuff. If you like history and like not like it was 1784
No,
and it was a dark day. No, it's more interesting stuff. Do check out the History Underground. So I'm going to actually write that down, buddy. Thank you. The Prairie Dog Town. Liam, you don't need a burp and everything. You know, parents, we always have a tough time. My mom is trying to keep me from being gross. Doesn't work very well, but you know, she still loves me. No, Babs, it's not your computer, it's my computer. At least, oh, I'm getting new things now. That's good. Michael, I can get good Portuguese food in San Pedro in LA too. Oh, thanks, Michael. Good to know. So when we go to California later this year, we'll be there. So Monica Mathers, missing my Walter's World videos since school has started and gotten busy. Yeah, the last couple of weeks for us, it's been crazy. I can't feel bad. Like, people have been commenting on videos, and I just have not had time to get on there because I'm a professor for my day job, and we started last week. And with all the stuff going online, and of course, 3,000 problems with online stuff, it's just insane. Yes, Lloyd, Grandma needs new internet connection. I agree. But not for me, for Grandma. Bill Kellogg, what did you think of the Champions League final? I thought PSG would have won it. I would have put my money on them, but Bayern pulled it out. So I was kind of surprised by that. And yeah. Let's see. Travel Adventures with Eric B. Live stream issues happen to the best. I was shocked my first one went well with no hiccups. Yeah, so Eric B's got his own travel channel. He was in LA recently, and he's traveling all. I mean, right now he's like going all over the place. Where is he now?
He's in Vegas.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said LA.
Oh, I did? I meant Las Vegas. Sorry, because LV. So he's in Las Vegas. But now when I see his things, we're friends on Facebook, and he's like going to like 90 different places. But you can check him out on YouTube. What?
Remember, he's part of the superhero.
Yeah, and he's part of our superheroes. So some of our members. So. And he's a nice guy too. Yes, the Corn Palace. We'll visit the Corn Palace in South Dakota. So our trip. So for those of you who are joining late to the trip, so later in the fall we are going to. He had Thomas Rise downstate, although I can't say at Comcast. Yeah, sadly, because we have no other option. Our later in the fall trip is going to be. We're going to Nebraska. Then we go to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Jackson, Wyoming, and then we're going to Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, going into Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, Deadwood, Rapid City, Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse, Badlands, Sturgis. Yes, Sturgis, because Jocelyn used to sell motorcycles there. So she has to. You should definitely tell your story of Sturgis for a Simply Jocelyn video.
I sold my first bike at Sturgis.
She sold her first bike. It was an Iron Horse, right?
Yeah.
I remember it correctly.
Or a Bourget.
Great.
It might have been a Bourget.
It might have been a Bourget. Oh, she's fancy.
I am fancy, goddamn.
I know you are. That's why. Yeah. So, Monica Mathers, I'm a teacher. Thank you for teaching. I know this has got to be one of the craziest years ever. So, good luck.
Long live teachers. I'm proud of you.
So, some other things. Jack Presley, Mark, would you eat ox tongue? Yes, I would. Mark, if I go to Illinois, I'll go to Naperville. Why would you go to Naperville? There's still in Naperville. They have nice architecture. Okay. So Reggie your man wants to know, Jocelyn, do you cook escargot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, she actually has. Sorry.
Hey, so Reggie, yes. Actually, so it's difficult for me to get fresh snails. Liam? Okay, so you're funny.
Yeah, the same one, Liam, same one.
So, Reggie, yes, I absolutely cook escargot. So, I do them in the French style. When we lived in Portugal, they're called caracóis, and I love them there too, but they're smaller. The French style, they're very big, and we have this lovely little store, Art Mart, in Champaign. Yeah. And I can get canned snails, and they're really not bad. You give them a good rinsing, and then you can buy the shells, and they're large size. I get extra large helix is what they're called for the snails, and then I get large shells, and the shells can be cleaned. You can actually like steam them or boil them or whatever to clean them. And
we have a whole shelf at home.
I do. I have a container of shells, and I just buy more canned ones. So I am going to make a video on that. Did we bring that? Do we have that with us this weekend?
No, those are. I put that in with the stuff yesterday. So no.
Well, that's fine. But yeah, I will definitely make a video on that soon. So that, along with lots of soups and stews, are going to come in the fall, like chili and things like that, simply because like a lot of people lately have been asking me for soups, and I do that all starting like in September, like kind of little later, not quite yet. I still feel like it's summer. As long as the pool's open, it's still summer. So I got another couple weeks. So it will be coming. Okay, bye.
So Nick P, skip Wall Drug, it sucks. So those don't know, Wall Drug is a famous stop if you're in South Dakota. It's kind of like, well, it's not like the Corn Palace, but it's a really popular place for people to see because it's right by Badlands National Park. And Nick, I mean, he must have been there maybe today. Nick, were you there today or a couple days ago? And yeah, it's good to know because then I know that we can just go through the Badlands instead.
My cousin said that was the most expensive trip or most expensive meal on their trip.
Yeah, so Jocelyn's cousin went through there and she said it was the most expensive meal on their trip going. They did a very similar trip to what we're doing, and they said that was the most expensive one. So there is that. So A.M. Waldron, you need to go to Carbondale, Salukis. So I actually,
My dad's a Saluki.
heard Jocelyn's dad is Saluki, and I actually went for a guy's trip in Carbondale summer of 2019 with my buddies, and it was an experience.
I helped my friend buy her wedding dress in Carbondale, and my dad went to SIU, and he studied under Buckminster Fuller. So if anybody's like into architecture, Michael Mann, if you're still on here, yeah, there are a few people though that I know enjoy architecture in our group, but yeah, so Bucky Fuller was there at one point in time too.
So Jocelyn will definitely get her recipe for escargot out when we get back. Yeah, when we get back home. So whenever, because with Jocelyn's channel,
I'll film it when we get back home. It may not be out for a couple weeks.
Yeah. So let's see. So someone was asking me about my favorite dishwasher works too for shells. Apparently.
Oh.
But though our dishwasher just broke, so
you should see me trying to fix a dishwasher. I'm pretty good at like handyman stuff, but I could not fix it.
She is the man of the family, for sure.
I am that.
She's the repair.
So Jocelyn, do you cook steak tartare? She's made tuna tartare.
No, because it's not steak tartare if it's cooked.
How about them apples?
So
Tartare's raw.
I know that. And so my mom and I have a great story about steak tartare. Do you want me to tell it?
Go right ahead.
Okay, so we were in Rennes in France with my dad. And my dad, this is when we learned that my dad can eat local food for 5 or 6 days, no problem. But within a week, he needs
Hamburgers.
He needs like an Irish pub or a fast food, like American food. Bless his heart, the guy worked in Korea for months at a time and ate whatever anybody gave him, and God knows what the hell he's eaten over the years. But when he travels on vacation, he's like, no, I want
Meat and potatoes.
meat and potatoes. He's a farm boy through and through. And so we were in Rennes, and he's like, no, I can order myself. I'm like, Dad, I can translate for you. He's like, no, I got this. I know exactly what I want. And so he never says what he orders. Just the waiter comes up, my mom gets something, and I get order something, and then my dad's like, no, I want this. And he's like holding the menu so we can't see. He's like blocking it. He's like, I want this. And then when it comes, like my mom had some fantastic, amazing, like beef bourguignon. I don't know. It was just like her food was, and my food was like, oh, like mouth watering. And then they bring my dad's steak tartare, which is uncooked ground beef with a raw egg in the middle. And he looks at it. And bless his heart, he's like, no, I'm not, you are not going to beat me. He ate the damn thing, the whole thing. And the thing is, we finished 30 minutes before him?
Who never eats that slowly?
And he's not a slow eater. So you could tell he was like, I'm not going to prove they were right.
Because we would have stopped him ordering that.
Yeah, it was so funny. Sorry.
Then when it came, that's what it is.
So, Michael, do you plan to visit Japan someday, or have you been there? We actually have quite a few videos on Japan. I am supposed to speak at the World Education Forum next May in the World Forum.
Wow.
If it doesn't get canceled, if it gets canceled, then we won't go. But if it's still going, I'm going to go there and talk. Hopefully, for me, we're all going to go because we really love Japan. The Michael is your Tokyo 2021 Summer Olympics. They're probably going to do some kind of bubble thing, but I don't know. And Waldron, isn't that why you had kids? Built-in dishwashers. Well, some people's kids can wash dishes well. Unfortunately, we have one kid that can wash them well, but he knows he washes them too well. We'll ask him too often. And then we have another kid who's washing. Even the other kid is like, dude, that's disgusting. You gotta wash more. So yeah. And now that our dishwasher is broken, we probably need to invest in paper plates.
No, we don't. That's bad for the environment.
I know. So that's why we had roasted rotisserie chicken yesterday, and we all ate with our hands out of the bag.
Listen, I've even got not.
No one can hear you. No one can
I'm
hear
telling
you.
you.
Okay. Yes.
I got not paper towels.
That's true. We do have not paper towels. We have actually reusable paper towels that we use because then we can help save out. So we actually collect them, then wash them and stuff like that. Like people that have the baby diapers that they use again and again.
We're not using baby diapers.
Yeah, we're not using baby diapers, but it does help in the long run. Actually, it's already paid for itself, so that's kind of cool. Mark, next time you come to England, try pot noodles. If you haven't, I'd recommend the beef and tomato flavor. It's amazing. I will, Jack. Thank you very much. What a lovely, stubborn man. I'm going to guess you're talking about my dad on that one. I really hope so. So, A.M. Waldron, have you visited every Disney in the world? No, I've only been to the one in Paris and the one in Orlando.
I've only been to.
Jocelyn's only been to Orlando in California. Our kids were never big Disney fans. They like rides more. And I remember the kids were like so bored at Disney World. They kept going to Frontierland because it was like the old school roller coasters. So by, what was it, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon? They were done. We actually went back to our...
If they knew what the finger was, they would have given it.
Yeah, they'd be like... "Ta-da!" And so we went back to... Because we stayed on property for when we were there. And so we went back and we had the pool to ourselves. And they had more fun at the pool with the slides and everything than they did in there. But they do really enjoy Universal with Harry Potter World and like places like Six Flags and Cedar Point with the rides.
Their thing is rides, and they do really well at like big European parks.
Oh, and also I actually have a video on comparing U.S. and European amusement parks, and I find European amusement parks are much better for kids. There's a lot more rides for people of all sizes. Yeah, Cody, our internet totally sucks. I apologize. It's the audio is still working, but you can see me every like 19th frame. So I apologize. You can hate on her if you want, my sweet, lovely mother whose internet we're using. Or you can hate on Comcast because they suck. Anyway, let's see. Michael, small cups. 3 regular cups of coffee. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, Mark Finley talking more about food tonight than we do on Simply Jocelyn chats. That's true. It's funny. So for those who don't know, if you are a superhero, a member, a patron, in 2 weeks we'll have a Whiskey Wednesday for our patrons and super chats and everybody, or patrons, members, superheroes. That's why we have that in 2 weeks. But on the 30th of September we have another chat live feed on Simply Jocelyn channel. So you want to check that out? Check out her channel. Let's see. Francis says, so I have a tentative itinerary for spring if I can travel, but tell me, if I wanted to spend a couple months in Italy, yes. I don't know what the next part of the sentence is, but yes. Where would you recommend to go outside of Italy? Easy weekend or week-long trips?
Croatia.
Why would you go outside? Yeah, as Jocelyn screams in yet another room, Croatia is a really great trip. You go for a weekend away. You can do that. You can take the ferry to Pulo or Rovine from Venice, or you could take a bus or a train from Trieste, or a bus from Venice or Trieste, and go up to Ljubljana in Slovenia. And you can do that. That would be another really good one to do. That would be really nice.
Yeah,
Slovenia.
Slovenia. Slovenian lake bled.
So Cody wants to know that I show no hate. So Mom, no hate for you, okay? Don't think that Cody's trolling. So it's nice. So Jack has talked about the Northamptonshire to go check out. Lovely in England, especially the East Midlands, but specifically Northamptonshire or Luton. So this is one thing. So Jocelyn is supposed to go next week to England, but since it's a 2-week quarantine when she gets there.
It's a 10-day trip.
And it's a 10-day trip. I'm going to guess Jocelyn is not going to make the trip this year, which is sad. So, yeah. But yeah, no, this is one of the things I tell you all the time. If you're going to go to England, get out of London and you'll see so many more things. We've done a couple trips to England together and we had a really great time, even when it was raining upwards.
It was
an experience.
I don't think I've ever been that wet.
Never in my life. Ooh, Jocelyn, Camille Smith is, hi, I'm moving to Lisbon in October. Oh, I'm jealous. Staying in Alfama, nice district. You're cool there. We want your videos for tips. Please feel free to share anything else. I'm a solo woman. Okay, so as a solo woman, Portugal is a pretty safe place to go. I'm not going to lie to you about that. You want to say that?
Yeah, okay. So I will talk about this a little bit. Though I moved there with my husband, I went when I was single, and in the bar district, in Bajo Alto, there's, it's just a good party bar district, but I can say that in large capital cities, bar districts, that is probably the one I have felt safest in. That doesn't mean that you can't be observant and you shouldn't, let your guard down anyway. But I felt very safe and very comfortable. Everything is so walkable in Lisbon, despite the fact that there are hills. I'm going to give you a really good tip, though. When walking up hills, make sure to stand up straight. You have this tendency to be walking up a hill, at this angle, and you lean forward, and that's not helpful. Stand up straight and it'll be better. But great shopping, great art and music. Oh my gosh, we took Caleb to his first opera there, but there's music of all sorts. You'll have such a wonderful time.
Yep.
I'm jealous. We've actually talked about moving back in the last couple years. We've really considered going back, but it just hasn't come about yet. But you're going to have a great time. And if you have any specific questions, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm at Jocelyn Walters World. On Facebook, you can find me at Simply Jocelyn. You can also message us at Walters World, and I'm happy to give you more girly insight to all of that. Okay.
Cool. So we froze again for the 900th time. I apologize.
You're an hour and 51 in.
I know. The internet just isn't it. So nobody give Cody any hate. He's actually been a nice guy. It's all good. Let's see. So Francis is looking into Vienna, Prague, or Germany. Francis, you can actually hit all of them in a nice little Central European thing. Flying to Prague, go down to Munich, then go to Salzburg, then Vienna, then you go to Budapest and hit Bratislava on the way. It'll be a great time. That's what I would recommend. So Thomas Reiser, I spend weeks every year riding trains in the UK. Yeah, UK trains, it's funny because you still get on the old ones where you will actually open your own little door and hop out and hop back in and stuff. It's definitely a different experience when you're there. So Champagne Sumo, aged Bushmills whiskey any good? I drink it, so that helps. Francis says, Gabriel Traveler has gone to Slovenia. I love the vids, so I think I'd be a great place to check out. It is a great place to check out. Yeah, Gabe, he came through Serbia. He's done his Croatia, moved to Slovenia. He is having a good time on his trip, so it's really nice to see him doing that. Gabe's a really great guy. If you want to find really good tips on the prices of going places and what's it like walking around, Gabe's got some really good stuff. So look up Gabriel Traveler on YouTube, and you'll see him on there. So, Mark, what's your favorite state in New England? I'm probably going to go Maine. because I spent a lot of time there as a kid. My mom actually worked there when she was in high school and college. And we took a schooner trip there, and we take the kids there. I'm a big fan. But I like New England. It's really pretty.
Yeah. Maine's great.
So, Michael, Sierra Leone and then Singapore. Oh, Slovakia's first. Sorry. Yeah, all those places are great places to go. Means of travel. Hey. Sorry we're super late. Had a family Netflix night. We completely understand. Which is funny because Jocelyn just told me we need to get off soon because we are glitching all night long. And I know Liz and Derek from Means to Travel know exactly what it's like to have technology issues when you're doing a live feed. So there is that. Anyway, let's see. So Maddie has a question. I'm so sorry I missed this, but what is the next trip? Or were it to be more short and precise? So our next trip is going to be Illinois to Nebraska, spend time in Nebraska, then go to Wyoming, and we're going to go to Cheyenne, Jackson, Grand Teton National Park, Yellowstone National Park. Then we're going to go over to Idaho, and then we're going to come up through Montana, and I think we're going to stay in Billings, and then we go see Devil's Tower, and then stay for a while in by Deadwood in South Dakota, and see Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse, Badlands, all those kind of things. Stay there for a while, and then we're coming back to Illinois. So that's our next big trip. Actually, our first big trip in a very long time. So we're very excited for that. So if you have any things, go comment on our Facebook page to give us some ideas. So there is that. So Logan Adams has a question. What countries are best for students to go to? So for students, a lot of people do the backpacking Europe, after they finish their 4 years. But I really I backpacked Europe a number of times. I backpacked South America. And honestly, if you want adventure, backpacking South America is really kind of a cool place to do. So I kind of remember. Jocelyn recommends Central America. Yeah, it means to travel. Yeah, Liz says the glitch is real these days. So sorry to hear that, guys. It is okay. Illinois, Nebraska, Iowa in between. So we're going to go through Iowa on our way back. When we come from South Dakota, we're going to come in through Minnesota, then down through Iowa. So I'm hoping to do.
Minnesota?
Well, it depends how you want to drive, because Jocelyn is the driver. I'm but the navigator. And so I'm trying to find the easiest way to get back home. And so right now it goes through. No, that would be up here. We live down here.
I just like to go.
Sure, we can go to Duluth. If you want to visit Duluth again, we will go.
Thanks.
Hey, Sam, it's okay if you couldn't join early. It's okay. I'm just glad you're here now. Hey, for those of you that are still here, could you please click the like button? It actually helps out because for those who don't know, a lot of most YouTubers, when they do live feeds, we actually lose subscribers and all kinds of stuff. So having the like shows that people actually like stuff. It actually makes a big difference. So if you could do that, it's great. Also, if you want to pick up a mask that actually has a thing so it doesn't fall on the ground, we actually have on. Yes, there's no sexy way to put on a mask, people. But you know what? It's okay. It's not about being sexy. It's about being safe. And we actually have our Walter's World stuff. You can grab, and there's with the neck braces or not at waltersworld.store. You can grab one of those. So help you will. So we help people out. I'm looking forward to trying because this right down there. I don't have to worry about it falling on the floor. It's awesome. Gute Nacht, Allison. Hi, Amber. I'm glad you found us. Let's see. So Francis points out, hey, anyone else taking their time to learn in quarantine to learn a new language? I went to read the artifacts, tombs, and stuff in Italy. Yeah, learn a little bit of Latin. It goes a long way. It's funny how much my Spanish and Portuguese and French has really helped me with reading all that stuff in Latin. In Rome, it is really true. Let's see. Iowa, Nebraska, and Chicago's naughtiest. Yeah, Thomas, that's why I don't live in Chicago. So, but no, when we finish our trip, we will quarantine for 2 weeks at home afterwards. So we do have that. So yeah, when we were pretty, I don't know how it'd be any less. My human interaction is going to get tested for COVID twice a week for work, though I don't actually go into work. I work from home. So let's see. So Sam asks, Walter's World, I always wanted to do a South America trip. I know each city has its own safety levels, but how is intercity travel safety-wise? So here's the thing. When you travel to South America, you can fly. Like Gol is really good. I like them. And they code share with Delta, so you can get some points. In Brazil, they're fine. In LAN, we've worked actually with them. They've actually we've flown with them, and there's some good airlines down there. You can fly around to places. But when you take buses, that's the big stuff within the countries. You want to pay up to get the espresso or the nicer buses because it's comfort, internet, movies, all kinds of stuff versus like a painful back. Yeah, especially for the longer ones.
Take the chicken bus.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah. Logan Adams says 10 people are laughing so hard they missed the like button. Well, hit that like button again. So there is that. Oh, Maddie's serving Japanese. Konnichiwa. Nice. So Reggie Man says, good night all. Walter's World, night camping.
Night, Reggie.
Thank you for hosting us.
Man.
Let's see. So Joe Ramirez asks, have you done a video about Los Angeles? No, I was supposed to go there last summer, but I had traveled for, 9-10 weeks in a row, and I got home and I had like 3 days at home and then to fly to LA, and I was like, I can't do it. So I had to cancel it because I was so burned out. So I missed out. But that's one of the things we're looking at maybe later this year or the beginning of next year is doing a California trip. So we will have some stuff. Let's see. Oh, Nick is currently at a rest stop in the middle of South Dakota. Nick, take a nap, dude. Take a nap. Be safe, though. Drive, my brother. Mr. Means to Travel is on. Hey, Derek. Hope you're doing well in Indiana. So, Football Life, you should go to Chile. So, I've been to Chile a few times. This is way before Walter's World. But, yes, I highly recommend Chile. It's a great time to go. Or a great place to go. Gorgeous nature. Best empanadas in South America. Actually, best empanadas in the world. They're there. They've been amazing. Amazing when I was there. Anyway, last couple questions. Because we need to wrap it up because the boys are still awake and they have online schooling in the morning. So, we have to get them to bed somehow. So there is that. So Michael says, knowing your ancestors, then you can do a heritage trip. So my mom and I actually did heritage trips to Scotland last year, and we were supposed to do a heritage trip to Germany and France this year, but COVID cut that off. And they are really cool things to do, especially when you can go see like the graves and stuff.
Are the churches, the graves, where they lived, where they worked. You know, you're walking basically in their footsteps, and it's fun to. And sometimes you can find an somebody else that's descended from your ancestors too. Mm-hmm. Other people have done that. I haven't been that fortunate yet, but maybe sometime.
Well, and one of the things when you do the Ancestry.com or 23andMe, it's like it gives you like you want to go to a place and to go visit a place, do that. And then you figure out that's the destination you want to go. I want to see where my ancestors are from. And it makes it a much more kind of impactful trip for you. So, Sam, yes, it is like a 2007 webcam style. I know the internet here sucks. Thank you, Com. We were sponsored by #Comcast Cares. So, there is that. Sorry. So, yeah, everyone else is like that, Sam. I do apologize. Jack, flying on the 747. Instead of 242, it's 343. That's the only difference, my friend. You haven't missed out much, okay, with those 747s. Michael, we're actually in the Central Time Zone, and so it's 10. Yeah, it's 10 here. So we have that. Usually go longer, but with this crappy internet, I feel bad for you all watching us glitch all the time. So we're gonna wrap up here. Do a couple more little things. Travel with Nick P. South Dakota is gorgeous. Liz came within 5 feet of bison today. I'm glad they didn't puncture your car. That's one thing. When you go to Yellowstone and stuff, don't mess with the bisons. You see people getting like hit by them. Don't mess with the animals. They're wild animals. They are not Instagram. Be my Instagram. Gram with me. No, you don't want that. So there is that. All right. So anyway, I'm going to take off for the night. So is my mom. Jocelyn, you want to come over and say goodbye? So everyone can say goodbye for the evening. So we're looking for in 2 weeks' time. We have for our superheroes, our members and our patrons. We have a patrons and members only chat in 2 weeks, and in 4 weeks' time, we have another wonderful live feed for everybody with Jocelyn. Maybe we'll throw in some more in between. We don't know. We'll see. But we want to say, hey, everybody, we appreciate all your love and kindness and support over the years.
Hey,
and it's been awesome. And don't forget, if you want to get an Andiamo shirt, you can go to waltersworld.store. Or if you want to grab one of our masks, which I'll make totally not sexy. See, Jocelyn should do this. And you can just throw it over there. And then you have a thing that holds it on. Go to Walter's World.
Shut up, Mark. Goodbye, everyone. He just keeps talking and talking. Go to waltersworld.store and you can put on the mask and not look like a buffoon.
Look at, she gonna make it look all sexy.
No,
Look,
it's not going to be sexy. I'm just going to put the damn...
Look at that. That's some good mask wearing there.
I know, but does it bug anybody that... Do you feel like we're going to have a whole generation of people with abnormally bent ears?
This is true.
I mean, it's a thing,
no, some
right?
of them are just...
And these are really thin, but they still do it anyway.
Thanks,
these are
Mark.
really soft. So I want to say goodnight to everyone. Thank you for joining us, Mark, and
Derek,
Mr. Mean,
Terry,
Night,
Maddie,
everybody.
Michael,
all
everybody.
of you guys who have been our moderators tonight and who have kept the trolls off and the political commentary to a minimum. Thank you. We owe you. You guys are awesome. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you. When's our next one?
In 2 weeks for our patrons and members, and then in 4 weeks on Simply Jocelyn, we'll have one there on her channel, but I'm sure we might throw in a fun little Why Not live feed sometime during the month. So look and make sure you're checking back, and don't forget we have videos coming every Wednesday and Saturday for the rest of the month. So we got videos from Rwanda,